Hello, it is Cindy Walter and
Jenna.
we are the Healthy Knitter. I am the Healthy Knitter. She's the Healthy Knitter's daughter, and we are on episode 120 and just finished our first, I'm not even going to say annual because we had so much fun. I might do more than one a year. Healthy Knitter Retreat, and it was absolutely amazing, and Jenna got to participate in it. She wasn't even planning on being here, and it worked out that because we were having her sister's baby shower, she stayed for that, and then she was here for the retreat, so it just worked out perfectly that she could be here with us. So let's start with what we're wearing. I am wearing just a little top with a Sophie shawl that I made, and I don't have the yarn up here, but I'll put it in the description notes of what it's made with. And I'm going to show you something to do with this in a later segment, but this is the Sophie shawl by Petite Knit. And Jenna is wearing her finished object. So let's talk about that.
So this is the Fiesta poncho. It was used with a 12mm hook, crochet hook, and this is how it turned out. So honestly, it was a really nice second project for me this trip, because this one, the yarn was so heavy and soft, it was just a lot easier on my hands and my wrists. So I felt it was a pretty easy project, at least until the end. The end part had me a little frustrated just because figuring out where to put the head hole and all that. But this is how it turned out. This is a multicolored wool that I got from the Lost Art in Traverse City, and I made it a little bit oversized just because I'm 5'10", so I wanted it a bit larger on me. But yeah, it's a rainbow poncho. It's a little oversized, and I'm really liking how it turned out. So I'm definitely gonna be wearing this a lot. Should I show my purse too?
Yes. So, well, let me just share this with this poncho. This is the same one that I made several episodes ago for her cousin, and we did it in a solid green. That's what she wanted, and Jenna wanted a rainbow one, and it was a different yarn. So when I made mine for her cousin, I used all my yarn and made it as long as I possibly could. And with this one, Jenna's yarn, it was still very thick, and the same thickness as mine, but it stretched a little longer and further. So she didn't quite use it all. She had to tear a few rows back. So that frustrated her a little bit, because we had a house full of 20 people here last night for dinner.
And I had one of those moments where I couldn't relax until it was done, because I was so close to being done, and I was like, I just want to wear this tonight.
Yeah. She didn't want to eat or socialize until it was done, so she just sat at the kitchen table with chaos all around her and finished.
And you made a comment at one point. You were like, that's my daughter.
Because I would do something just like that. All right. What was your second finished project?
Yes, this bag I showed everyone on the last episode I appeared on, but this is the Aveline bag from Crochet Park. I finished this. Another project that was quite interesting. I learned a lot. But yeah, it turned out really, really nice. I've gotten a lot of compliments on it. It's very heavy duty. And honestly, finishing it was the easier part. The harder part was just finishing all these rows. I ended up doing a lot of extra rows just because I wanted this to feel more like a tote bag and not just like a side purse. So this is kind of how it wears on my body. I wanted it to be kind of like a bigger tote bag. So I tested it to make sure it can fit my bigger books, because I read a lot of big books. And I'm studying a lot as I'm in the middle of a Pilates certification. So I just wanted to have, a nice heavy duty bag to fit all my books in. But really liking how it turned out. I didn't expect I'd be using a screwdriver on a crochet project, but here we are. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. So
she, of all of us, got the most done in her vacation and at our retreat. So I'm really proud of you. And this is a Crochet Park kit that I actually gave her as a gift for her to make for herself. I've made her one before, so how I found Crochet Park was I wanted to crochet bags for all the girls for, was that Christmas one year?
Yeah.
And I found them, and now I'm an affiliate for them. So if you see in the description notes, you can get a $5 off coupon if you click on my link to place an order there. But they're adorable, and if I sound funny, it's for two reasons. Jenna has incense burning right next to me, and I don't do well with that. I should have said no. So I've got this fancy thing with swirling. You light it on top, and it swirls the smoke through it. And I'm hoarse from talking all weekend at the retreat. So I've got two things working against me now. I kind of sound funny. But anyway, that is beautiful. So proud of you. I have 0 finished objects, but we will talk about whips. So we have not started your next project yet. We're hoping to do that before you get on the plane, and we figured you're doing the Cumulus blouse.
Either that or the tank top.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one I had on yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the Vegas top. Okay. All right, so we'll get her casted on before she gets on her plane going home. So whip-wise, I'm going to come back to whips. We're going to do this a little bit out of order today because while I have Jenna here and before Katie gets on, I want to chat about the retreat. And I had a couple viewers comment, what's behind you? Because behind me here, I had all these baskets for a few weeks. I had to have all my ducks in a row because the kids were, Tyler's family was coming. We had my daughter-in-law's parents coming. We went to Michigan, we had our family vacation, and then came home and had the retreat right away. So I had to have all my ducks in a row. So I had the retreat gifts planned months in advance. So everyone got a market basket they're called African market baskets. They're beautiful. I love them, and I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
I move the incense.
Oh boy, hope I can do this. So I got these baskets, and most of them come flattened or at least kind of crushed, and you wet them and then you can reshape them. The top is leather, so you don't want to get the leather wet, but the rest of it I stuck in my bathtub, and you can put in these round ones, a mixing bowl to shape it and then dry it. And so all the ladies can reshape them when they get home. But beautiful, beautiful gifts. And inside of them, I tried to do things, most of the things in here were local things. So we had a local yarn. So this was really cool. This was from Jacob Sheep. It's called Jacob Sheep Yarn, 100% Jacob Sheep Yarn. And it's, the name of the sheep is Jacob and Jojo, two sheep, from Zor Heritage Family Farm right here in Dover, Ohio. So everyone got a skein of this, and it's really, really nice wool. So I was excited to support Jessica from the Pin Drop Shop, who is my local yarn shop owner, and buy yarn from her. And then inside of it, I had local honey from my friend Brenda that makes her own honey. So that was a nice little treat for everyone. I had Isogenics products in here. I had a protein bar, so everyone got a protein bar. Everyone got a few hydrate sticks with electrolytes in it, which we're going to talk about this on my health tip later on. And they had a collagen. This is a liquid marine collagen, great for hair, skin, and nails. Also offers joint support. And one of my favorite drinks, this is a Be a Glow. This is an all-natural energy drink. Everything is no preservatives, no additives, all natural. And this also is great for your skin. It has collagen in it as well. And then, not done yet, and then there's more. We had mending kits. So my friend Jessica taught a class on mending your knits. And it was meant not just to fix a hole in a socks, but offer a few different suggestions on mending. And we all had a blast with it. And mine, oh, I got to show you mine. Can you open that and show them what's in it? And then I'll pull mine over. Did you take that class, Jenna, or were you not there for that?
I wasn't there yet.
Okay.
First, you have all these various colors of thread.
Yeah,
little rainbow.
Yep, so all the embossing thread that you can use for different projects. A darning mushroom. Jenna collects mushrooms, so that's kind of cute. So they did mend some socks using this darning mushroom, so that was fun to watch.
Little cushion.
Little pin cushion. Yeah, so cute. This was a whole kit to make patches. So if you have a pair of jeans that have holes in it and you want to make a patch, you can make a patch on it. And a lot of us didn't have something that like a hole in a garment that we wanted to fix with a patch. So I suggested that we try and do a sample of this on our actual bag. So here's mine. It doesn't look great, but if you look at the center of it, you can see I got it figured out right about in the center of that there. Not great for my first attempt, and now I need to attempt. I'm going to wash the bag up, but we just kind of decorated our bags. A lot of the ladies looked way nicer than mine on their first attempt. Needles. This tool actually went with this I believe, or no, was that for the mushroom? That might have been for the darning mushroom, I think. And then needles, and that's it. So everything came in a mending bag, and then Jessica did a wonderful class where she taught people how to do it and kind of walked the room and helped people figuring it out. Some people brought specific things they were mending, and she just helped everybody with it, and it was a highlight for a lot of people that were there. So that was great. And then we had Robin on her yarn, the nest. She from Yarn Birds in Columbus. She brought her truck, and she only has one more festival, and then she's retiring birdie after 10 years. So it was so much fun to have her. We went on her Instagram live at 5 with wine Friday night, and we were all on that, and she asked everybody to share what they were working on, and then people shopped on Saturday with her. But it was so great. She spent the night with us, knit with us. It was so much fun to have her there. And also, so I'll show you what I bought. I did not go crazy. I bought for Jenna and Katie. So Jenna got yarn for her Cumulus top or tank, whatever she does. Katie got yarn for, what was she, you know?
She was thinking about doing the Ranunculus top.
Oh, the Ranunculus. Okay. So we might show hers when we get her on here. And I needed some solid sock yarn. So I bought Magpie Fibers Swanky in a brown color. Because I wanted some solids. I have so many variegated socks now that I wanted some solids. So this is Magpie Fibers Swanky Sock, and I guess the color is called Corsair Brown. And then I got Litlg, Life in the Long Grass, Fine Sock Yarn, and this is the color Cloth. So that's what I got for myself. And what else do we have here? Yeah, you want
some gifts?
Okay. One of our guests, Julie from Arizona, came with charms for everyone, Cactus. So when we are knitting projects, we're going to think of her every time we use this charm. That was so, so thoughtful. And then Jessica, on top of teaching the mending class, she had a charm making kit. And I got 2 charms for every attendee. So the ones I chose for myself was this flower charm and then this cute little ladybug. And then I gave one to everyone also as a gift. And Jenna's going to show you hers.
It's this little wooden charm. Didn't Jessica help you get these made?
Mm-hmm.
With a little buggy on it. And it says the Healthy Knitter Retreat 2026.
Yeah, so
cute.
That was great. So hopefully everyone will think of our wonderful experience together when they use that charm. You want to show the other 2 you got?
Sure. And then I've always been all about Hello Kitty, and Jessica had really cute ones.
That's really cute.
And then I just really liked this one. It's like a little flaming heart with angel wings. I liked it, so I picked that.
Very cute. All right. And then we had such thoughtful people that came to our retreat. And the first one was, I had 2 sisters, Deb that lives here in Ohio and Sharon that is from Texas. And when they came, they had a mug for me. And I feel like every time someone gives me a mug, it's for Scott too, because secretly most of you know that Scott has a thing about too many coffee mugs. So he would take them out of my cabinet and hide them in my hutch that's all decorated beautifully because he'd get sick of them being in there. So this says, don't mess with Texas. So he's not going to mess with taking this cub out of my cabinet, Sharon and Deb. So thank you guys so much. That was so, so thoughtful. And then this is very funny. Lori from Michigan has to be one of the most thoughtful people I've ever met in my life. And she came yesterday morning on our last day, and she had gifts for everybody. She had gifts for Jenna. She gave you some patterns because Jenna's a new crocheter, so they were all crocheted patterns, correct? And we're going to get her knitting too, but this next project, but that was so thoughtful. She made a beautiful sweater for Katie that Katie will probably bring on to show you. She bought this mug for Scott from Koblenz Chocolate. He took the group through our local chocolate factory on Friday, and it says life is better with chocolate. So I'll think of her when I use this coffee mug. But he's not much of a coffee drinker. He drinks a warm moringa tea. It's a product that my company sells every morning, and so he'll drink that out of his new mug. So thank you, Lori. And then she also gave me her favorite yarn, which is from Woolens in Nosh. So this is a self-striping yarn, and it's 90% Targhee and 10% nylon. So I cannot wait to make socks with this, Lori. And then this blew me away because I have been wanting to try balm from Knitty McPurly forever. And did you get to smell this? She got me balm, and I'm also, how funny is this? I'm crazy about anything pumpkin. So the second temperatures start to cool down, this girl's all about pumpkin lattes, decorating for fall, pumpkins and gourds everywhere, mums outside. I'm crazy. Pumpkin candles, and this is pumpkin scent. You can use it if you want.
It smells so good.
You want some? All right. So, Lori, you are so thoughtful, and it was just so much fun to have all of you guys there. And now I even had a couple more things. I was so overwhelmed with everyone's generosity. It wasn't even funny. The Woolly Buffalo girls came from Indiana, Julie, Sandra, and Lisa, and they were the just shining stars the whole
Life
weekend.
of the party.
The life of the party. They came in with their matching shirts, and then they'd have a wardrobe change and come back with sweatshirts, and it was just so great. And they had gifts for everyone. So everyone got measuring tapes and little notebooks. Yes. And then Sandra gave me a Woolly Buffalo bag, which I love these bags for socks especially because you can see what you're making through them. So that's exciting. Okay, you can go. I'll see you in a bit. Jenna's leaving. You want to say goodbye?
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for helping. So that bag was just so sweet. And then Lisa she sewed a bag for me. And this is just so neat. And I love to have bags that have drawstrings on them. So if I'm on the bike with them or want to walk with them, I can do that. So this is watermelons on it. It says just breathe and knit. Guys, I just can't thank you for your thoughtfulness. I never ever expected that, and I'm just tickled that you guys came bearing gifts and that you brought so much fun and enjoyment to the weekend. It was just absolutely amazing. For our first retreat, the couple things probably we'd change and do differently, but for the most part, it was really, really amazing. Such a great group of people. From all different walks of life, from all different backgrounds. Some have been knitting since they were little children. Others just learned. A couple that have been knitting for a very, very short time. From all over the country, a couple people flew in for this event. And it was really one of those things where when it was all said and done, it felt like leaving church camp yesterday morning. I even was a little weepy with a couple of the hugs that lasted a long time from brand new friends that had just met for the first time. So that was pretty special. All right, I'm gonna pause here, come back with Katie, and I'll see you in a minute. All right, back with Katie, and I already shared with you that Katie received the most beautiful gift from Lori. So let's start there. With what you got from Lori, and then she has a couple finished knits to share with you that she made, and a couple other gifts that are handmade as well. So let's start with this one that brought tears to our eyes.
Starting off with Lori, I don't know if even she knew the pattern. I don't certainly know the pattern, but it's very sweet and very cute and was just very thoughtful. Thank you, Lori.
So adorable. And I talked about all the other gifts Lori gave.
And you've seen this one, I think, my mom made, the November Balaclava Mini. So that was one of the gifts that was received for the baby on this trip. Next up is the tiniest hat you've ever seen in your life. This is from my friend Melissa, and she has the cutest tag on here. Melissa and I were in a knit group together in Tampa, Florida. I got to see Melissa briefly last summer, but have only been able to stay in touch about our knitting online for the last 3 years since I moved away. So it was so kind and thoughtful that she knit this and sent it to my mom in Sugar Creek. And it was here waiting when I got home. So thank you so much, Melissa.
It's so cute,
It's so
Melissa.
cute. I can't believe how small it is. It's hilarious.
It just, we're holding Maria, whose head is 5 times that big, and we're like, oh my gosh, Katie, your baby.
But it's nice and stretchy, so I have no doubt it'll fit. But it is very cute.
But it just makes you, it's like this, wow, this baby's going to be so little when it arrives.
I got a few things from my friend Devin who came to my baby shower. I'll start with the larger item. Now, this sweater is not hand knit, but it seems to me that this embroidery was done by hand, so I wanted to include it. It's the Script Ohio, if anyone is unfamiliar, from Ohio State. So she lives in Columbus currently. She went to Ohio State. She asked what I might want for the baby shower. Most people didn't bring gifts since I have to travel home, but she really wanted to bring a gift. So I said, why don't you bring something Ohio State? So she brought this little sweater. And to go along with it, this is a completely hand knit hat. She's not a knitter herself, but she went on Etsy knowing that I'm a knitter and found this hand knit hat to go along with the sweater.
That is going to be the cutest picture ever.
This will make sense to absolutely no one in the UK, but everyone here knows. And then the last gift that I received is a regift of sorts. I knit this for my high school best friend, Livy, 5 years ago when I was really just getting into knitting in a serious way. So I'm happy to say my knitting's come a long way since making this. The sleeves are comically small. I think this might fit for about a day. And but so thoughtful that she did put her first baby, she's got 3 kids, she put her first baby in this a few times before she outgrew it and kept it all these years and then regifted it to me at the shower. So that was cool to come back.
Yeah, that was so thoughtful. And I told Katie she could go home and maybe re-block it and stretch it a bit.
I certainly didn't even block it originally. I didn't know to do that back then. But this is a Wool in the Gang pattern for sure. I can't remember if I bought it as a kit or not, but it's the alpaca yarn that they do, and I do love their alpaca, and so it's very soft. I will try to block it and stretch it out a little bit. The sleeves are just absolutely tiny.
So cute.
And then a few of my finished projects. Can't remember if I had cut this in half last time I showed it. Now you can see the line. You couldn't see it where we filmed last time, but you can see the line in it. And I've just decided not to be bothered about it because I think once there's a baby in it, you won't notice it so much.
And honestly, like showing it like that, it just looks like those are
their
the pants.
pants.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I had finished it completely, and then I just thought that the ratio of body to legs was off the first time. So I cut it in half to lengthen the body and then shorten the legs. And it's so strange because the ball of yarn I used down here was not a new ball. I had already used it the first go around and there was no line. So I don't know if it's because I picked back up in the middle of my work and now it kind of has created the illusion of color because there was no line before. It makes no sense to me, but I've just decided not to be too bothered. I didn't buy this yarn. It was given to me, and it's still cute.
It's adorable, and maybe I can't wait to see what happens after blocking.
In certain lights and at certain angles, you don't see it at all. So
yeah, that was like, here I am, but we didn't even notice it last time we podcasted. So,
and then I finished this project, which is the Mossy sweater. And this created some trauma for me in Michigan. I finished knitting it and I was dying to get somewhere to buy buttons. I had to wait a few days to go to Lost Art in Traverse City to pick out some buttons. We finally get there. I get 2 buttons. We get back to our lakeside cottage. I'm sat out on the deck. It's beautiful. I'm by the water. I'm settling in to sew on the buttons. And I realize that none of my needles that I brought will fit through the buttonhole. So I have to wait another day until we can go to another store to get needles. We get those needles, and now I can't fit my thread through those needles. So Jenna then has an extra needle we discover. So she gives me that needle, and now finally I'm about to sit down and do what I've been meaning to do for days. And as I sit down on the deck, I drop the button, and it rolls down in between pieces of wood, and I spent the next, I don't even know how long, trying to fish it up using kitchen tools. I almost got there, and I won't name names, but someone trying to help me got overly excited at that point that it was so close and snapped it in half before we could get it up. So then I had to wait another few days to get more buttons. But finally, we got the buttons and we got them on. So this is the finished item. And this, if you didn't watch the last episode where I talked more about this, I used leftover yarn from my Ester jacket by Petite Knit, which uses mossy stitch. And it doesn't create this exact pattern of a zigzag, but it's kind of similar with triangles. So I had this pattern and I thought it kind of matched the aesthetic of the Ester jacket. So with my scrap yarn, it's kind of a matching set for the two of us.
That'll be so cute. Yay. I had couple more things I wanted to show, and then I wanted to chat with Katie a little bit about the retreat, just to give you guys kind of a summary of the retreat. One more gift that my friend Lisa gave me from the Woolly Buffalo. Her husband makes leather pieces, and he makes these to help keep your shawls on. So what you can do is wrap it around your shawl and snap it, and then adjust your shawl. You can let it show. If you want to hide it, you can. But that way, when you bend over, you don't lose your shawl. And I just love that. I thought that was so wonderful, so thoughtful. So thank you again, Lisa, to you and your husband. And then I forgot one more purchase. So this is a little bit out of order today, guys, but so much to share coming off of our trip and then the retreat. From Robin on Yarn Birds. I bought this because my friend Lisa bought this mainly because of the wine charm. How cute is that? But this is 29 Bridges, and they have beautiful, beautiful yarn. And I will probably use this as heels and toes for socks, because I make at least one pair of socks per month. So I loved it and just wanted to share that with you as well. And then I didn't have the Woolly Buffalo gift that they gave everyone to show you when I was with Jenna. So they gave everyone a branded notebook and a little branded bag with a branded tape measure. So super cute. And we were so, again, very, very grateful and blessed to have them there. All right. So speaking of the retreat, why don't you share with everybody what you thought? Katie was instrumental in planning it. She helped create the website for me on a platform that I had that she did not like and I did not like at all. So we'll be switching platforms after this event is closed up and last email goes out. But she helped me with the website, registration, all of that, and was planning on doing all of the food. When we found out she was pregnant, then Scott he wanted to cater the whole thing, and we kind of compromised, and we did a lot of catering, and then Katie did a lot of handmade things as well, and I think the food was a pretty big hit.
And I will give Dad his flowers. He was right, because even just doing a fraction of what I was originally going to do, my feet really hurt at the end of each day.
Yeah.
It was a lot, but it was a lot of fun. And I shared in our closing circle at the retreat that, you know, having grown up here, I maybe don't appreciate the area as much as people who are coming in for the first time or who come irregularly. And where we had the retreat, I felt like it was just far enough away from where we actually live that I kind of got to experience the area with a fresher perspective. And we really had great weather. It rained a little bit, but almost in a way that made it feel cozier. I don't know. When it was raining, I was like, oh, this is great knitting weather. And we had rainbows, and it was warm, but I didn't find it unbearably hot. There was so much amazing scenery driving into the home each day. We would see plowing hay in the fields, and that's all done by horse-drawn machinery. There was big Amish baseball games going on. All of the gardens were in full bloom, flowers and fruit and veggies, everything growing, and it was just beautiful. So I kind of felt, although it was a lot of work on our part, I kind of felt like I was getting a bit of a staycation where I grew up, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And we saw I thought it was a toad. Scott said it was a frog, but on a plant outside of where we had my friend Karen doing massages. And then, you don't even know this, I don't think, but then on the last night there, after I left, we would stay till the very end, 9 o'clock at night, I would leave. Apparently, one of the frogs came for a visit into our main room that we were knitting in, and it was quite large, and Cynthia got her shoe and kind of shooed it out the door, but the rainbows, we had a double rainbow. It was just spectacular. And honestly, what the probably, I don't even have a regret. It was warm to where I had really envisioned people on the wraparound porch knitting and being outside a lot more. And it was a little too warm during the day for that. But at night, Scott made fires for everyone and they could go outside. We had some bees, so we had a little bit of bee issues, but I mean, we couldn't have asked for better weather. I think we've decided we're going to do it again, probably same location, but we're going to do it later, late September, early October next year. But I'll probably do one more before then, if not more, because it was just so wonderful. People wanted to rebook my friend Karen for massages already because they loved her so much. Robin will not have Birdie, but maybe she'll consider doing a trunk show. Robin, trunk show. Jessica was well loved, so it just really, really went well. And anything in the closing circle that people shared, was anything touching to you, or like how do you feel the summary of the whole weekend was?
Well, before the closing circle happened, we had our first attendee leave. And Mom broke down in tears. And it was funny, but it was also very sweet because people do genuinely connect at these things, and you are sad to see them go. And so that's always very touching.
Yeah. And like, I'm getting emotional even talking about it. What brought me to tears was this older woman, Fern, last minute got to come. So she had signed up and registered, but we had just sold out 30 minutes prior. And we had to refund her, and we were so disappointed. And my husband was trying to find her another Airbnb really, really close to our lodge, and he had one. We had a backup plan, but she just wasn't comfortable with that. So we refunded her, and then we had a room open up last minute. So we contacted her, and she said yes, and I'm bringing my daughter Amy. And so we got them to come, and she was delightful. She was funny as all get out, this little Spitfire, and we had so much fun with her. And when she was hugging my friend Cynthia that flew in from Texas goodbye, it was one of those long hugs, and everybody's like, "Why are you crying, Mom?" And I'm like, "'Cause I feel like it's leaving church camp." Like that feeling of I might not see this person for a year, that I grew so close with in just a few days. So it was such a tender moment that, yeah, I mean, I can cry thinking about it now. But it was wonderful. And like I was saying earlier, people from all over the country, all different backgrounds, lots of very professional women were there. So that was really cool, and hearing what they did. But the one thing we all have in common, as different as we all are, is our love of knitting. And so everybody knew if someone wasn't answering them back or giving them eye contact, it was because they were counting or concentrating. So very cool to be in an atmosphere like that.
And even though there is this shared element of knitting as a passion, we had every level of knitter too. So that was really cool because people are helping each other and sharing what they know. And that's one of the best parts of knitting, I think. I mean, I enjoy so much teaching my friends to knit and sharing patterns and what we learned when we were doing a project and helping people avoid mistakes we've made. Like all of that is just so fun. And so that was all playing out in real time.
Yeah. And we had Lisa and Linda casting on brand new projects, champagne cardigans. So thank you for helping, Lisa, because I know that was a little sticky at first. And then we had our two sisters, Deb and Sharon, casting on new projects too. And we chatted about that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't cast on anything new in front of people because I get so distracted. So I'm always in the round stocking that when I'm in groups because I just am so easily distracted and I screw projects up. And there were crochet projects. I mean, there was just, and we did show and tell. So we talked about what we were wearing and what we were making it with and what our favorite yarns were. We shared tips. I did some door prizes. So I was giving raffle tickets out throughout the event. And one of the questions was, what is the greatest tip you've ever learned? So that was really great. I felt like we all picked up a few really good tips there. But yeah, we learned so much from each other and we laughed and there wasn't much crying. Mainly laughing, really just a tear or two. But it was just so joy-filled. And I just thank all of you for your support. Selling out your first retreat is just a massive win. And when people want more, it just does your heart so well. So we're hoping to keep that group alive with a WhatsApp chat until the next retreat and hope to meet many more of you at our next retreat.
Definitely. And it wasn't just that we wanted to sell out the retreat to sell out the retreat. Like, it was a really fun family project for us. my mom, my dad, and I all worked really closely for months leading up, and it was fun this weekend to do it together. So thank you for giving us that opportunity as a family too.
Yeah, it was just a blast, and getting Jenna involved last minute too. And then we didn't even talk about the yoga. So Katie taught yoga outside Saturday morning. And I honestly, going into this, thought if we got 5 people to do it, I would be quite pleased. I think we had like 12 the first morning, and then maybe 10 the second morning for Jenna's class. And everyone was so appreciative for the yoga. It was so beautiful outside. We had cows that would pass. We had a fence and a cornfield, and cows that would pass between the fence and the cornfield. And it was just, we couldn't have asked for a more beautiful place to do the yoga. And they just got so many compliments on what wonderful teachers they are. So it really was a family project. Next time we'll get Maddie there. She'll be doing something, because I feel like she had some FOMO and missed out a little bit. But I did have the whole family come to meet everyone, because I wanted you guys all feel like you know my family, because you see them on here and see pictures. So that was really fun. And I said we need a family photo. So I'm going to end this and then show a little bit of video clips of our weekend together to try to bring you into what we experienced together and give you a taste of what we had. And I think we'll end on that note. I'll be back with my health tip on leg cramping. Funny story there. But I'll let you go.
We've all had a little leg cramping happening.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's in the water, what's going, or what water aren't we drinking? I don't know. I feel like we drank water. It was probably a combination of heat and being on our feet too long, but yeah, I'll share that next. Anything else you want to say before?
Nope, just thanks again to everyone.
All right, thanks for being here. Next time you see Katie, I'll be in England with her.
In a couple weeks.
All right, see you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so for our health tip segment today, I'm kind of laughing over it, because last night my husband woke me up almost screaming in pain because he had a severe leg cramp, and I had one last night, and then my daughter has been having them as well. I had one the night before, both nights of my retreat, and then this morning when I was telling Katie about Scott's leg cramp, I got one in my leg, and we're dying laughing over it. What the heck? So I did a little research on this, and if anyone else gets leg cramps, we talked about it at the retreat as well. I gave electrolyte little hydrate sticks that you can put in your water in everyone's gift baskets, and 2 of the attendees were telling me that they never go anywhere without them because they've been on retreats and gotten leg cramps before, and the electrolytes have really helped them out. So I did a little research on how you can prevent them, and I have a few quick tips for you that I want to share. The first one is to stay hydrated. No surprise there. Oftentimes when we're busy, we don't drink as much as we're supposed to, and I would say at the retreat I did a fair job, not great, fair, but so many of the ladies brought their own water, hydro flasks or Yetis or whatever, Awala bottles, and we're filling them with water throughout the day, putting the electrolytes in there, doing a much better job than me, even facilitating it. I had sparkling water there for everyone as well. But staying hydrated, because dehydration can contribute to muscle cramping, particularly when you're sweating more. So you're not supposed to wait until you're thirsty to drink. You're supposed to just stay hydrated. The second thing is, don't forget your electrolytes. When we sweat, we lose them. And they are we lose electrolytes such as sodium and potassium that are important for normal muscle function. So an electrolyte drink, a supplement like that, can be a convenient option after a sweaty workout, on a hot day when you're active. So that is something that you can always have in your arsenal if you're wanting to prevent cramping. Get minerals from your food. Potassium, magnesium, and calcium all play roles in muscle function. Think about foods like bananas, potatoes, leafy greens, beans, yogurt, nuts, seeds, things like that are rich in potassium and magnesium and calcium. Those could really help you with your getting the nutrition you need so that you don't get those muscle cramps. stretch those muscles. So we had yoga 2 mornings at our retreat to do just that. I think Jenna did some specific stretching for things that might hurt while sitting and knitting for long periods of time, which was really helpful. But you can certainly do some gentle calf and hamstring stretching, particularly after activity or before bed. If you're prone to nighttime cramping, that's a good time to do it. And if a cramp strikes, gently stretching and massaging an affected area is very, very helpful. I have to get up out of bed when it happens to me. If I just lay there, it just stays tight, tight, tight as a ball. I have to get up out of bed and walk to get rid of my cramps. And 3 more. Keep moving, but build up gradually. A sudden increase in walking, gardening, workouts, or other activity can fatigue muscles and trigger cramps. So give your body time to adapt and include recovery days. So for those of you that do like to work out, if you're experiencing them because you've done some radical changing and you're working out, maybe you've increased your workouts, that could be what's triggering them as well. So just be mindful of that. Pay attention to your shoes. Sometimes it's just the shoes we're wearing don't offer enough support, and that can trigger them as well. So make sure you're wearing supportive shoes. The older I get, the less cute my shoes are because I'm more into having comfort than I am having cute shoes. So make sure when you're walking or standing for long periods of time, you're really wearing comfortable shoes. And then the last thing is nighttime cramping. When you are experiencing this, you can try straightening your leg and pulling your toes up, and then flexing and oh gosh, what do you call that? Opening and closing your foot. Just doing this helps me with leg cramping when it is in the middle of the night. So you pull your toes towards your shin, and then you curl them down, and then you pull your toes towards your shin, and then you curl them down. And walking for a minute or two might be able to help as well. But leg cramps aren't always caused by dehydration or lack of electrolytes. So it can be caused by medications, circulation, or nerve problems, pregnancy, muscle fatigue, things like that. So if you're getting them frequently, it might be worth checking out with your doctor at a doctor visit. If they're just every once in a while like mine are, it's not a big deal, but some people really, really struggle with this, and it can be caused from other things. So just want to put that plug out there that you might need to be mindful of that and see someone and talk about it. All right, quick gardening update. I have cleaned out a few of my beds that really got nailed with squash bugs, and my 3 girls leave today. I will probably tackle the garden maybe even as early as tonight, if not tonight, tomorrow, and I'm going to do some planting. I'm going to plant garlic. I'm going to plant another round of broccoli. I just planted green beans again before I left because my green beans are about done, so I'll have those. I still have potatoes coming, sweet potatoes coming. Cauliflower might be ready. I haven't gotten down to the garden since my retreat started, and I might have some more watermelon down there, but I've got a big one to cut into today, so I'm excited about that. And I have a lot of veggies to cook up. I had 2 eggplants of my own plant. My friend Robin brought me a squash and an eggplant from her garden, so I'm going to make eggplant parmesan tonight and cook up some vegetables we have for dinner tonight. So I'm so excited about that. All right, my monthly newsletter, on to announcements now. My monthly newsletter goes out the first week of the new month, so if you are not subscribed to my newsletter, I'll be changing platforms. But shoot me an email. I will add you to my email list. That will go out the first week of the month. And then my retreat people will be getting a closing email from that platform with everything I promised. Recipes for the sourdough bread, the banana bread, my daughter's Welsh cakes, recipes for all of that will be coming out, along with a couple other great things. So stay tuned, that'll be in the next couple of days. My August knit along is finally happening this coming up Saturday, August 29th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So stay tuned for that. There'll be a link below on Zoom. You do not need a passcode, you just click on the link. So Eastern time, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., Saturday, August 29th. It'll be my 34th wedding anniversary, and I'm gonna spend 2 hours of it with you. And I think that is it. Thank you for joining me for this. I will end with some recap of our retreat for you. And this will get put out on our normal Monday schedule, just a few hours late, unfortunately. But I'll get back on track with the proper timing next week. And things are going to be changing with the podcast as well. Just working to make it better and better for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day and happy knitting.